What will we be saying? Packaging, and the end user challenges and OEM in case this is the perfect agenda. So to take it forward and vertical in the end of the day summary part of it. So when we have been talking about the packaging is precisely it's a pool of machines. It's irrespective of the user, whether it's the pharmaceutical or it is the personal care products or it's the home care products, irrespective or it's the cigarette packaging or the tobacco manufacturing process. So it's a lots of packaging. It's a primary packaging and the secondary packaging and the other equipment, so labeling, case packer and the so-called. This is the typical production line or material flow which usually happens in any of the industry. So to begin with, here I am starting a code which was just recently published in the Economic Times on 23rd November by the CEO of Unilever India, Paul Polman. So where in the learnings from India, where the low price products and the smaller package or sachet is getting that acceptance in the European market. So where the poverty has extended to the local economies. See, that's really gives a feel like in India, whether it's a big nano car or it's a small sachet, it's really showcasing the strength to the world. So we have the knowledge, we have the expertise, and we can definitely do it. So I want to take this thought forward and to keep it in your mind. So this is the packaging, what we have been speaking out, and how the technology has been helping out to make it happen. So when we have been speaking of end user challenges, as Mr. Rehani and even Mr. Lakodi has also pointed out, the delivery time, because it's always yesterday for the user, so the machine has to be available and the production is the first and foremost challenge for him. And the machine footprint science, because economically and the space and the other constraints is, which also increases the cost of the production. Commissioning time, of course, it is again linked with the delivery time. The uptime of the machine should be much faster and the production should be on the flow. Of course, the machine flexibility, here the machine flexibility in terms of the package, the format size, and you can change the pack length also. So reduction in cost, that is another prime importance area from the end user point of view. Reduction in cost, of course, the reduction in wastage of the material, increased performance, so that is nothing but we are talking about the efficiency part of it, when this will give the production on a better higher rate and the open architecture. So this is the point which will be touched upon. Just I want to, right now I will not touch upon on this point too much, but as we move forward, so this is a part which will elaborate more further on open architecture. So and the machine, the downtime. So as machine downtime is less, of course, the rest of the factor will come into the picture, the efficiency, production time, and so on and so forth. So this is from the end user perspective. Since we initiated the dialogue with the end user perspective, I also want to touch upon the OEM part of it and how it has been taken forward. So what are the OEM challenges in terms of it? The first and foremost is the end user acceptance, because they have their acceptance levels in terms of the inventory, in terms of the structure, in terms of the hardware, in terms of the platform, the project and life cycle cost, reduction in cost, of course the foremost priority for the OEM point of view, and the scalable automation system. So moving forward, if there are any changes or any structure happens in the machine, the system should be in a position to take care of it. It shouldn't happen that we have to change the entire structure of the system. Again, the support mechanism should be in place for the OEM part of it. So this is the foremost priority for the OEM, and of course this is applicable to the end user also, because they look the extended support as from the supplier point of view, the technology supplier. And increased performance, this is the inevitable norms for either OEM or the end user, but this is the norms. So this is what has been moving forward. Earlier, what we have been talking about in the era of the year back, or the 5-6 years back. So when we were talking about the PLC part of it, the motion parts are different. So the trend has been happening where the PLC and the motion parts are getting integrated, and the people are more looking forward from the open architecture. That is why I'm saying the open architecture, which will be what we will speaking in terms of the OMAC and all. So this is the architecture where people are moving on that, the motion controller platform. So it can take care of the motion platform, it can take it you to the vertical integration part of it, so that in future. But anyway, we have a certain slides which will elaborate further on this topic. So this is the generation what we have been looking into it. So right from moving from different PLC and the different motion controllers, we are going for a synchronized kind of things where PLC and the motion controller are on a common platform. So any typical packaging line, whether it's ointment or tobacco, So we have the final process product available, and then we have the filling, the cartoning, and the wear and the case packer. This is the usual production flow. So what are the challenges during line integration? If you just recollect what Mr. Rehan is, the different suppliers with the different architecture, then standardization, non-standardization of the machine software. If you remove the word non, then we have the standardization of the machine software, because the different suppliers will have different technology, different platforms, and then the integration of machine is a real challenge. And possibility of performance related issues, and then the vertical integration becomes a challenging, and the ownership is a big challenge. Then who is the responsible? Either the OEM or the supplier or the end user. So here I am just putting a case study, a bit of it, when we are talking about tube filling and cartoning. So these are the two different machines. Practically speaking, if you look at in terms of the architecture point of view, I'm just taking it to a bit further on this. So you have a different PLC which can be taking care of your tube filling part of it, which is connected to the drives, to the motion part of it, the encoder part of it, and you have a HMI, and you have a PLC connected with the cartoning part of it. Again, you have a PLC, but here the integration which is happening is we are using a media of communication, but there could be a further media, a better media of communication which will happen when we are speaking in terms of a generation 3 kind of architecture, the motion or the single platform. So the benefits of this architecture, if we recollect here, So here, if you look at it, we are using a media of communication over here, so that at least two of the PLC are speaking to each other and getting an exchange of media is available. So which can correlate the data, and the data is available to the vertical integration, also called to the Ethernet connectivity, to take it up to the SCADA system. So the benefits here, the Modbus, as I said, the adaptability because of the connectivity is available. Then you have a third party connectivity is also available because you have the open media, open architecture, communication is available. The gaps, what we have been speaking of in terms of both the machines are separate, so no master set point is available, so being both are two different. I just move it faster. So this is what I have been looking at. So whether you have a motion bus or whether it's irrespective of the manufacturer, but we have been speaking in terms of the device, whether it's Profibus or Ethernet, the supplier should be available. You have the connectivity, you have the MIS is also available, so we can take it forward. So this is going to be architecture rather than having a two different hardware. We have a common hardware to take it forward. So we can connect it to the SCADA and to the MIS world. Again, this is a small pitch which I want to touch upon, which is the template and the function blocks which are available, which gives it the precisely higher productivity in terms of, because the commissioning time is less. Here, the function blocks are nothing but the application function blocks, whether it's a flow wrap or the case packer, the ready-made templates are available. So the OEM or the user can definitely make a use of it. The uptime of the machine will be much faster, production and so on. It will increase the performance of the machines. So the development, data flexibility and better programming part of it. Again, just to touch upon PACML, so which will be a part of it, which can be taken care here. Being it defines the machine status and the machine conditions on the back-type platforms. So vertical integration, so which you can take it forward since we have the platform available, whether irrespective whether it is a motion or the network device network connectivity. So you can definitely integrate your vertical platform on the whether it's a Surpass bus or it's a OMAC or it's a wine fence tank for 4 amperage, it can be taken care. So this is the summary from my point of view. This is my opinion. So customer demand will drive the integration part of it. Customer is the key, user is the key. Innovation, cost reduction, scalability, increased performance, ease of programming, and training and support. So these are the key summaries as a supplier point of view, which will give a confidence, because end of the day, suppliers and the OEMs and the end users, somewhere they should have the convergence to come on the same platform and to have the open architectures to benefit in terms of the user perspective also, and to the OEM and of course to the industry. Thank you.